What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Whiskey Morgue Podcast. Around here, we pour a drink and we carve into the world of horror. I'm your host, Mike, and today I am joined by professional wrestler and actor Vinny Pacifico. Vinny, how's it going, brother?
Use Spanish accent with my last name. I like it.
I tried. I'm part Italian and Portuguese, so I was like, I need to give a little bit of flair on it.
I like it. I like it. No, I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad I got you here because just before we jumped on, I was saying you're a busy guy, man, and that busy is good, but you're all over the place. You just got back from a nice trip at Disney. Hopefully, that was
Oh yeah.
mostly relaxing.
It was
Um,
it was a lot of work, but no, it was wrestling also. I wrestled down there, did some media down there, and then I also did Disney and Universal. Had a great time. But yes, very busy. But busy is good, right? We are very lucky to be busy. When
yeah,
before we get to where we want to get, we want the busyness. We want the work, right? So I always say grateful. Thank God for all the work we're getting.
1,000%, dude. And we have a lot we're gonna talk about tonight because there's the wrestling part, and This is my chance to nerd out a bit, but I promise we won't stay on wrestling the whole time because you got a couple cool crossover projects into the world of horror,
Hmm.
which is why I guess we kind of connected here. So we're gonna touch on all of that. But before we get into it, I need a drink, man. So
What do you got?
typically I try to pair something up here. So there's this company called New Riff, but this particular bottle is a single barrel. And if you look closely, if you see on camera, it's called Wrestling with Whiskey.
I like that. I like
And
it.
I don't know if you're familiar with he wrestled in WWE and now he's a commentator for
I know who it is. Yes.
TNA.
Is he Matt
Yeah,
Matt?
Drama King Matt. I
Yeah.
forget what his last name is. So it's Drama King Matt.
Love
So
him.
he's a big whiskey guy, and
Yep.
my boy Eric, the whiskey mutant, went on this single barrel pick, got me a bottle, and I was like, I mean, I love this one. So what better occasion than to drink it with professional wrestlers? So
I love it. I
I'm
love
gonna
it.
pour
Love
some
Matt
out here
too.
quickly.
I
Yeah,
love
Matt's a
that.
good guy.
I'm gonna open up my whiskey I have over here. Whiskey and Jalisco. How you
So
drinking this?
I
I
mean,
don't
I
really
just sip
drink.
on it. You can. I sip on it while I'm going. So
Ooh.
I
Yeah,
like.
I don't drink ever, but that seems strong. Wow.
A quick side note, because I do the whiskey thing, I enjoy sipping whiskey, and sometimes it's strong. Like this one here is because it's cask strength, it's 55.6%. So it's strong, but my whole point is that I enjoy sipping, but then I end up at
Oh my god.
I'm gonna just cut images of you taking sips.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Um,
Oh,
but
my insides are hot.
I
Yeah.
call it a Kentucky hug.
Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, if it's bourbon, it's Kentucky hug.
Oh my
Um,
god.
but yeah, everyone's always like, Mike, come to we're at a wedding. They're like, let's do shots. You're the whiskey guy, and I'm like, dude, I sip on one thing for the night. I'm like
That's
watching
it.
my movie, like I'm not going hard, and everyone's like, come to the bar, do another shot, and I'm like, that's not me. I'm not hardcore like that.
Wow.
People would like to think so because the name Whiskey Morgue sounds pretty intense, but I'm
I
just
like the
over here
name.
sipping in pretentious glasses.
Yeah.
Um, okay, before we get into it, your whole wrestling persona, right?
Yeah.
There's two things that I think of. So the first one is don't count out Vinny, right? Or don't count
Yes.
Vinny out.
Don't get me out. Yes.
Okay, so speak to like because like everyone has their thing, right? Their character, but I feel like you kind of blend who you actually are with your character. So there's the power punch aspect, and then the
Mhm.
don't count Vinny out. Can you just speak to
Yeah.
quickly how you came up with this would be your professional wrestling persona or gimmick?
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, listen, I'm energetic as heck. As you can tell, I have tons of energy all the time. Clearly, as of right now, you see the energy here. But I'm
Oh,
gonna say
I
this.
forgot to add one more thing before he goes off. Energy. He's also one of the other titles is the Energy Drink King,
Yes.
which is also
Which
why I connected with him.
Yes, it goes hand in hand with power punch.
Yeah.
My finishing move is the power punch, where I'll drink my energy drink in the corner, hulk up, and throw a punch, and that usually wins the matches. And so, so power punch is kind of like you're energetic, spunky, wrestler who's that's kind of who I am. I'm spunky, I'm fun, I got a lot of charisma, that sort of thing, and just power punch. Just I pack a powerful punch, right? Like when you're hanging out with me, I leave a lasting impression. So it's like kind of like a
Okay.
power punch there too. So there's many different reasons why I get called power punch. Wow, that drink. There's many reasons why I get called Power Punch. Now, Don't Count Vinny Out is kind of like my story. Like, for years I've been bullied. For years I've been always like, kind of, I guess you could say, like, counted out, or like I've been through a lot where I always had to climb. I've always had to climb to get to where I have to get. I had to work extra hard in wrestling and everything that I'm doing. I had to everything that I've done. I had to earn every inch of. Right, nothing came easy, not a single thing. So, and also like I've dealt with like career things in my I had like an injury in my career once. So a lot of the fans were like, "Don't count Vinny out." Like, we were rooting for me to come back.
Yeah.
But I had my first injury. I was like 17 or 18. And that's
You
kind of
got
how
you
it
got
first
started
started.
early. You were like what,
I
14
was
or
14, yeah. So like it started out like just everyone viewed me as an underdog. I'm a little shorter, I was the youngest person at the wrestling events. I was 15, 16 years old, wrestling. So I was always viewed as like the younger guy, the underdog, and someone who's always fighting from the ground up. That's where Don't Count Vinny Out came from, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's I still use it to this day. It still counts because listen, even though I'm 12 years in, I'm wrestling 12 years. I'm 15 plus countries traveled. I wrestled for every major company there's to wrestle for. There still is always going to be an uphill battle, and I think that's a lot of people, because in this world nothing's easy. In this
Yeah.
life, nothing comes easy. So I feel like everyone is on a uphill battle, but for me, I embrace that because the hard work, I welcome it. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where I think Don't Count Vinny Out could apply to many people, and that's where a lot of fans relate to me. But I also like no matter how much I've done, no matter how far I've gone, no matter how many things I've done, like again, I've done movies, I've done wrestling, I've done music videos, I've done so much really cool stuff. My ego doesn't change. I'm still the same person, and that's how I believe it's also like a recipe for success, because if I ever get complacent, or if I ever get cocky, if I get ego and I don't still pursue what I'm doing and work as hard, I'm doing myself a disservice.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like always hungry, always grinding, always want more, and that's the attitude to have. I feel like,
Yeah.
and the people who are sick like that will get ahead and do get
Yeah.
ahead. So for me, it's worked. I've always believed like, okay, I'm never gonna be complacent. I'm never gonna be somebody who's, oh, I just did this, great, now that's it. No, there's never that's it.
Yeah.
There's always, okay, what's next? Okay, how am I gonna make this the best I could do? Like everything that I do, I want to give my all to. Every podcast, every wrestling event, every movie, every commercial, every single thing that I do, I want to be the best, and I want people to enjoy it and watch it or experience it and feel something from it, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of my mindset with everything that I'm doing.
Dude, it's such a genuine approach that I think, like you said, resonates with people. People love the underdog, but people all have their own underdog story or moment they were counted out.
Everyone.
And if we were doing a montage right now, and maybe I'll cut it in, but like I always do my deep dive before I interview, and there's a clip on your socials, and you were like in grade 5, and you were tiny, man. It was really cute actually. And they were like, "Hey, Vinny, what are you gonna be when you're older?" And you're like, "I want to be a WWE wrestler."
Yeah.
And
Pacifico, and what I want to do when I grow up is a WWE wrestler.
just to see that, like, I think like that really sells it. And having watched a bunch of your matches online, I've dug up a whole bunch and went on YouTube, and I'm up at 2 a.m. My wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm watching Vinny wrestle right now." Okay, so I'm prepping.
Nice.
But no, man, like you could tell the crowd work, like, because even like, yeah, like maybe you're not like the biggest guy there. Like, I mean, even though you're probably still tower over me in height. How tall are you?
5'7", 5'8".
Okay, so we're like the same height. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like, it makes me think of, I mean, you've wrestled for everyone, right? So you've done like New Japan, NXT, Ring of Honor, but there was the AEW dark match that I saw. And dude, first of all, I missed the dark matches. Like, they need to bring those back because I was a big
Oh,
fan
totally.
of
Yeah.
watching those, and I'm a big AEW fan.
Well,
Obviously,
real quick, one little
yeah.
thing I wanted to mention. So kind of Ring of Honor, the AEW ROH has kind of taken the place of Dark, kind of in a way. It's like another division for AEW is Ring of Honor. But I did original ROH, original Ring of Honor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like the ROH before AEW bought it. I was trained by Ring of Honor. So yeah, I was trained, and they brought me up to the roster, and I got my TV start on Ring of Honor. And that's kind of how my rise started was I was doing TV for Ring of Honor, traveling all over the country, and then I did Evolve, and that
Okay.
went really well. That was like my next level to WWE. And then I had a weekend where I wrestled Gangrel, absolute legend, had a great match with him. Then did Evolve, and then that's when things were getting really really big, and COVID happened, and this ruined everything.
Oh,
Yeah. So Ring of Honor has a big meaning to me, though. So as you've said, like you've watched my ROH stuff, and Ring of Honor's is what it is. Ring of Honor means the world to me because it's where I got my start, and they gave me the first opportunity to be on TV. When I was young. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see why, because like even like so, I'm thinking about one of the matches that I watched was so one of the dark matches was with Wardlow.
Yeah.
And what's cool, and this is like as someone who appreciates wrestling, so they kind of set it up as a squash match, right?
Yeah.
So you went in there, he's gigantic, right? So you guys go at it, and the interesting part was like you could still show, like you still were able to show a little bit of your technicality, but the cool thing that I think is even more impressive is in the comments, people were like, is Vinny okay? Like how you sell it, and I know enough that I'm like, yo, this guy's awesome at completely selling it, and you're making the big guy look really good. And I think not a lot of people can do both, right? Where it's like, because then I've seen other matches where you're on more on the offense, and it's super technical,
Yeah.
and incredible. And some of my favorite wrestling is like those technical wrestlers.
Have you seen
But
me
then
in Paul
how you
London?
sold, pardon me?
Do you see me in Paul? Did you see me versus Paul London?
Yeah, I saw that one.
That one was my favorite match. Well, I had a few favorites, but that one was something I'm very proud of. That one.
Yeah,
He's the
and
best.
it was matches like that where I'm like, yo, this guy can turn it on. And like I
Yeah.
said, like growing up, like even to this day, like the Owen Harts and Jericho and all those guys and Guerrero, like I really love those technical wrestlers. But yeah, how you could sell it, I think like the combo of like your personality, the whole model, like don't count Vinny out, and then that the fact that you can work in the ring, but then also help other people look good. I'm
Mhm.
like, dude, it's the ultimate combo. But so, quick question for you. I'm sure everyone always asks you like, who's your favorite wrestler? And I think that's unfair, almost like how someone would ask me maybe like, what's my favorite horror movie? It'll change. I'll usually say Halloween. But in terms of like
Halloween. Me
technical
too.
wrestling,
Yeah.
technical wrestlers, who is your favorite technical wrestler or maybe that inspired you?
Brian Danielson. Daniel
Nice.
Bryan. 100%.
Okay.
He's the best.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle. Those guys are my favorites. Those people, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. Those are my guys who I really just enjoy so much.
Yeah. You got on the Kurt Angle podcast. Speaking of
Yeah.
Kurt Angle, how did you swing that?
I don't even know. It's just crazy. It's crazy, dude. That few month period where I got signed to Bang Energy, I got on the Kurt Angle podcast, I got on the Road Dogg podcast. Bang Energy went out of business for a little while. So all their athletes got nixed, and then I got signed to G Fuel. Like that 4-month period of just like, and then the Gangrel podcast. So I did the Gangrel podcast, Kurt Angle podcast, Road Dogg podcast, signed with Bang, left Bang, went to G Fuel. That whole period of time was just crazy. And then I had AEW again. That was crazy.
Dude, I got the video. Like, I was so jealous when you got to crush energy drinks and blood with Gangrel.
Oh, the best. Me and Gangrel, me and him have done like tons of skits before. He's one of my mentors. He genuinely is one of my greatest mentors, and I've learned so much from him in wrestling and out. He's one of the people who taught me, like, as a younger wrestler or just a young human being, we always want the world. We want it now. We want it now. We are consumed by our work. And I think not even young people, even people who are older, they're consumed by their work. They want now. They want to make it. They want to get it. And he's always telling me, Vinny, relax. Vinny, you're gonna get there. Just relax.
Yeah.
And to be present in the moment, because I've traveled to 15 countries, and I've gotten to on some of these bring my wife with me, and you have to unplug.
Yeah.
I have to unplug from my phone, unplug from the content, unplug from the media, and just be.
Yeah.
Have fun with my wife, enjoy the travels, and just be.
Yeah.
And it's very hard
to be consuming. Yeah.
It's hard. Sure. It's very hard. It's very hard. And it's one of those things where answering emails, like I love going to theme parks, but I would love what I would do is, go to Disney Springs or go to like I was in Universal and I had a moment where I walked around for like an hour, just walking, no rides, just
Yeah.
walking, answering emails, and just being busy, doing what I'm doing. But while I'm in a theme park, Disney or
Yeah.
wherever I was, SeaWorld, and wherever I was just doing business while at the theme park. And part of me is like, shit, I'm at this theme park where my wife wants to go on rides. There's things to see, there's things to do.
Yeah.
Put the phone down for a minute and just
Yeah.
go on, have fun. And that's kind of a thing that Gangrel taught me, was to just be present and just enjoy the moment.
What I like about how this comes back to even Gangrel is that like you expect like a wrestling mentor to kind of like show you the ropes literally and
Yep.
figuratively. But I kind of like how he's instilled kind of like how to approach like life as a wrestler.
Oh yeah.
Even more so because I mean I love Dark Side of the Ring, but you see these tragic stories of people who don't find that balance or they get too consumed. I mean, obviously different eras too. I think things have changed in the wrestling world, hopefully. But I mean, for him to be having this longevity and still be around, like, and I mean, like, man, like I'm watching Attitude Era and we watched The Brood come out. Like, dude, talk about horror
It's the
and
best.
wrestling. Like, yeah, like, and
Imagine being in the ring. Imagine being in the ring, getting to wrestle him, and seeing
Yeah.
the red come out.
Oh,
It was insane for me. That moment, I get goosebumps still to this day. But to that point, I had another mentor, EC3, another freaking legend wrestler,
mhm.
EC3, another mentor of mine. He's taught me the same thing: be present. Put your phone down and relax. Because if you could tell the passion that I have, I'm always go 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 go.
Yeah,
Like I had a period where I flew 4 days a week. Just doing work, wrestling, with appearance here, appearance there, and you know, it gets to the point where the work is great, but just when you have the minute to cool down and relax and be with people you love,
yeah,
take those times and do them. Because I'm gonna tell you this right now, and this is something I learned when I was 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, even 17, 16, 16, 17, 18, 19, and maybe 20. I've missed funerals, birthday parties, anniversaries, my prom I missed. I've missed so much stuff. And now I kind of make sure I'm available for things, right?
yeah,
I schedule my stuff so meticulously that I make sure everything gets done. So, for example, my brother's birthday's today. I went there for an hour, celebrated, and came back home for the podcast. Nowadays, what I do is this. If I'm wrestling on the West Coast and I have a party, a birthday thing, a pumpkin picking with my wife, or something to do on Sunday or the next day, I will take a red-eye flight
yeah.
and sleep on the plane and get home the next day. A lot of guys like to stay over. A lot of people, if they're working somewhere, they'd rather wake up in the morning, have breakfast, go on the plane, go home.
Yeah. So in terms of favorite personality wrestler, like strictly based on how they work the mic, their personality.
The Rock and John Cena.
Yeah.
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 Totally. To your point on wrestling talk and all this stuff, I've been very blessed to be able to get into the acting industry, and I would say because of wrestling, I'm getting the opportunities I am in acting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess I bring a name value to the films. I bring media. Every film I do, I get covered by a lot of sports media. I also am able to do stunts. I'm able to do improv. I'm able to fight, make it look real. So thankful to wrestling, I am able to be the actor that I am. You know what I mean?
I think what's cool is that it's kind of like, I think, maybe the Hollywood story you hear, like, oh, someone becomes a professional wrestler. And traditionally, we would see someone became a wrestler. They got so big, even if they weren't an actor, Hollywood made them an actor or they developed it later on. But yours has been really cool because it's kind of been tandem because it's the two passions you have. And it's like they're growing together. Like you get a wrestling gig that leads to acting. Then the acting helps with the wrestling. And it's awesome.
It's crazy. Because now it's crazy because, like, first things first, Mr. Reset and the Society of Turnbuckle Bone is a wrestling horror-based film. I play myself. I play Vinny Power Punch Pacifico in that movie, and it is. I'm very proud of that movie, but I've also played.
Let me tell you though quickly that poster Dude, it's creepy. Like,
It's
and
screwed up, isn't it?
we'll speak to that, yeah, after you kind of share
Yeah.
whatever. But like, yeah, man, that I was like, I'm all for a creepy mask, and if you haven't seen it, so yeah, online, if you look like Bloody
We'll put it
Disgusting,
right
just
there on the screen.
yeah, I'm gonna put it on the screen, and Bloody Disgusting did a feature on it, and so you can get a quick like background, and maybe Vinny will speak to it very quickly after. But like, yeah, man, just the image alone, it takes me back to like why I fell in love with horror, which is like like an interesting masked person, and it looks like this like mummified wrestling promoter from from like the 80s, and I'm
That's
like,
kind of what it is. That's
yeah,
kind of literally what it is. It's he did JC Jedediah did an amazing job. The director did an amazing job on this film, on the masks, on the intricate stories. You know, my wife got I got my wife cast in it. She crushed it. Got a standing ovation on set, and now she's set for the next film and the other films we're doing. You know, because we got some scripts written. You know, for future stuff.
okay,
It's
okay,
exciting stuff.
okay.
But it's a very good story. It's pretty much a story about like what it's like to grow up to grow up in life, but grow up in the entertainment industry. You know, I was
Yeah.
14 starting wrestling, and then I'm doing media, I'm doing all this stuff. That's entertainment industry, and then now movies. I'm even more in the entertainment industry. So it's like it showcases the horrors and the craziness of what it's like growing up in the entertainment industry. You know,
And I
people
think
who yeah.
I think it makes perfect sense because, like, with everything we've seen from like past eras and in wrestling, not to say none of this stuff still exists, but like, I even mentioned like Dark Side of the Ring and watching those
Yep.
documentaries, like there is that underbelly to everything, and when they're dangling the carrot, and like you said, it's easy to get consumed in trying to chase
Carrot.
money and chase the fame and all these things, and yeah, they're like, hey, well, you're gonna work X amount of nights in a row, or we're gonna fly you out here. It's easy to lose grip or sight of who you are and yourself. So when I read the premise, I thought it was a really cool feature how like he kind of falls into, like, this is your character, right? Like Power Punch falls into this world, and obviously he loves wrestling, but then you get this dark side of it, and you have what's the puppet master's name?
Mr. Reset.
So it is Mr. Reset. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And
And isn't that a great name too?
yeah.
It's like I mean, I don't know if there ever was a Mr. Reset, but like that's a great Mister, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Mr. Like what was that? Mr. Doom? No, Dr. Doom. But I don't know. I think Mr. Reset has a good spring to it. You know what I
So
mean?
so quick question with the poster then again too. So the like I guess like what's implied is like there's like a smaller character who I guess is like the wrestler who is like now the puppet being controlled, but it almost looks like a Mickey Mouse mask.
It's me.
Was that oh yeah, but is the mask intentional in terms of being kind of like reminiscent of like Mickey Mouse,
Disney,
right? Because you
yes.
can't yeah, okay.
Yes. So pretty much, we're inspired by wrestling, Disney, Pee Wee's Playhouse, Firefly Funhouse. There's so much we're inspired by, right?
Yeah.
The Mickey and Minnie mask that me and my wife wear. I guess it just shows to like innocence. You know, we're innocent, we're fun, we love life, we're young. That's kind of I guess that's what we show. You know, and that's kind of like that's what we embody. And I guess that's kind of why we have those masks. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of, I guess, pretty much why.
Yeah.
But the puppet master is me as a puppet. Because
Hmm.
Mr. Reset had me sign my life away
Yeah.
to succeed. So now I'm the puppet
Yeah.
in Mr. Reset's. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the story.
And I'm just like that can take so many dark turns, but then reading the Bloody Disgusting kind of synopsis and take on it with it having some kind of dark humor in it, I'm like, dude, sign me up. I'm like, right now, is
There's a lot
the
of
whole
humor in
thing
it.
filmed?
Yes, whole thing's done. Filmed it a year and a half ago. Took a while to get it out because we had a lot of promises, a lot of people wanting to be a part of it. We wanted to abandon ourselves. We didn't want to like the director and myself, we really didn't want to like forfeit everything. Right? This is
Yeah.
our story. They wanted to make it into something that it had not like. There were people who wanted to make it into something that it was nowhere near. The director calls me in January. He goes, Vinny, you're on fire right now in wrestling and in acting. You're doing all these movies. He goes, dude, like, there's no reason we can't launch this on our own without studio behind us, and like we'll figure it out. Well, now I promoted it a ton. We're launching ASAP. We have, it looks very good on distribution with the distribution deal.
Nice.
So now we're there. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got distribution on our own. We were able to use connections and people we know and people that I know, and just where I put it and how I was able to like use my connection to get some distribution. And now we're literally awaiting dates and stuff like that.
Well, I think like what's cool in terms of like even connection is, I was gonna say, you look at like the success of like say Terrifier or like the Stream franchise. So like Damien Leone and Fuzz on the Lens, who you
love those guys,
are friends with those guys, but they stuck true to what their vision. Imagine like if Art the Clown was compromised so early on, we wouldn't have this amazing character in film. But Damien was like, no, like this is my baby. This is what I'm doing. And I'm sure, and well, not that I'm sure, we've seen, he's talked about, especially after the first one, like offers coming through. So I think it's cool that having some insight and guidance and kind of knowing when the time's right, instead of just looking for the quickest deal and signing it off just to say you did it.
That's what it was. It was like, we was like, there were things there that sounded great, but things that didn't sound great, and things down the line that we know we'd regret, like a certain amount of ownership and a certain amount of, you know what I mean? So we're like, you know what? And now look at us. We have distribution. We're waiting back on details. We have a marketing plan, which is, I'm the one handling marketing mostly with promoting and all that stuff, and I don't mind doing that. I love it. We have scripts written for multiple other films. We have a printer for masks to sell masks, a printer for shirts to sell shirts. We're a full-fledged business,
Yeah. So well, I know I'm gonna need a Mr. Reset mask.
Dude,
I'll snag one, man.
Oh, wait till
like that thing's creepy.
It's creepy as heck, but wait till I'm not going to spoil too much, but the masks for episode 2, the next film that we're doing, are 10 times better than the first masks in the first one.
Yeah.
Kind of like Terrifier. The first one was good. People loved it, but Terrifier 2 crushed it. And that's the thing. With episode 1, we learned so much what we can and can't do. And now episode 2, hopefully soon there's plans to do it. And that's kind of, we have scripts written, we have things planned, and hopefully people love the first one, and that gives us a chance to do number 2.
That's exciting, man. So, but this is like not with the Fuzz on the Lens guys. Like this is not with like Mike and Jason Levy.
No, I work with Mike. Like me and Mikey have been working together, other things, together. We do me and Mikey do content together. Mike Levy, love those guys. Those are amazing people.
If you haven't seen, you got to go on Vinny's page. There's one that I really enjoyed recently where because they're promoting Stream 2 is coming out, and Vinny's benching with Mike there, and he puts on the Stream mask and hits a new PR and is able to.
It was so much fun. It was Mike lives 10 minutes from me, so like we connected recently. We're very good friends now. He's a great human being.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what's cool is that like, I think it's like in my mind right now, before I even articulate this, it's like just fireworks are going off, because I've talked to Jamie, who worked with the Fuzz on the Lens guys, right? She was assistant director, and we talked about our mutual friend Steven Lamorte, and I feel like, dude, like Staten Island and like that area is like, why is it like the breeding ground for amazing talent right now?
I have
like,
no idea.
Everybody is like in this little hub. And like it's like almost like everything that the horror world is consuming and loving, it's all like coming from not even one group, but like these multiple groups in like, and like you said, like, oh yeah, Fuzz on the Lens, like Mike's just down the street and we make content together, and I'm doing this project and Steven's doing this project, and there's like this overlap in friendship. And I think I think I mentioned this with on the podcast with Jamie Root, that like this is, I feel like, one of those once in a lifetime, like 50 years from now, there's going to be a documentary talking about the horror community and horror scene. And
Island.
You know what was going on in Staten Island, and that and that's what it's going to come back to, because it's just this cool hub for creativity and horror, and I'm absolutely here for it and love it.
So do I.
Following you on social media, like I said, like I it sounds like I'm joking, like, oh, I'm glad I caught you, Vinny, on here, but like I'm like, dude, you are all over the place, and I think it's even more chaotic because like I think right now you're not necessarily tied to one wrestling company, right?
Not right now, no.
So yeah, so it's like, but then I think that I'm gonna assume that makes it more challenging because you can get like flown out to do this event over here and wrestle there, and then like
Yeah.
another promoter or company is like, yeah, come out here 2 days later, and you're on different coasts, and
Best
it's all
part
over
is,
the place.
yes, I got a lot of TV appearances coming up. The best part is though, I kind of make the schedule for the most part, right?
Okay.
So it's like, well, for the most part, there are times when they're like, oh, we need you here, but like, I'm very lucky to where like I'm able to do things on a way that like I make it work, right? Because for example, I had a movie, I did a film, Family Ties, filmed that Friday, Saturday, and a wrestling show Sunday night, Saturday night. Sorry, so I filmed Friday, filmed Saturday morning, wrestled Saturday night in LA. Then I flew that night back home Sunday, got back home, rested Monday, filmed another movie in Pennsylvania. Yeah, so it's like I'm able to put my opportunities kind of and schedule them where I need to. Again, it won't always be that perfect. I'm sure. I'm sure I have a film or
Yeah.
a wrestling event that coincides with each other, but like so far, I've been very lucky to be able to not have to pull off anything. Right, I'm able to do both, no problem. But no, it's been even to your point. We were saying like you watch my stuff and I'm always doing something. You know, a director friend of mine, Diane. I'm doing her movie in April. It's called The Forgotten. Echo Soul Productions. So excited for that movie. That's filming in April, and her and I talk all the time. We're very good friends. And when I was in Florida at Disney, SeaWorld, Universal, whatever I was doing, I disappeared.
Yeah.
She's like, I haven't spoken to you in days. I can't even believe it. But like, that's where I really put my phone down and just had the most fun.
Yeah.
And that's where I was in my element. You know what I mean? But it has been very busy lately to say the least. And I am very grateful for it because, for years I've always been like, for years I would make myself as busy as possible. But now
Yeah.
it's like, now it's coming my way where, Vinny, we need you here. And I make sure, wow, this drink destroyed me. I don't
I love
drink,
how it just
so
keeps creeping up as the podcast goes on.
I don't drink, so it's like, wow. No, but I every opportunity that I get, whether it's through my agent or manager or anything, I make sure I give them 100% best. Or even if it's
Yeah.
not through my agent or manager, right? Like I get opportunities from me directly, right?
Yeah.
So it just what I do is I give my all no matter what. And I'm always grateful for every opportunity. That's the biggest thing. You can't ever. I try to never ever be like, oh shit, I got to do this flight. I always say, I'm thankful for this flight. I'm thankful I get to do this in this flight to LA to
Well,
do it. You know what I mean?
dude, to pat you on the back, you
Thank
seemed
you.
very enthusiastic about jumping on the podcast with me, right? And I know
Well,
I'm
you're
still kind
amazing.
of well, I appreciate that, man. I'm still in my infancy and I'm trying to build it up. And I'm like, yo, you just seem so ecstatic about jumping on here and us having some fun. And then I'm scrolling through your social media. I'm like, this guy was on Kurt Angle's podcast. Freddie Prinze Jr., come on. Like, what?
Yeah, that one was I gotta say, Freddie Prince is the freaking man. He is such a good human being. I love him.
Yeah. So, but again, like for myself, you make it like feel like because I'm like, if I knew in advance and you acted a certain way, I'm like, oh, this guy's been on podcasts that are, by a lot more famous people who have a lot more reach in the world, and you're super enthusiastic about jumping on here and making your throat burn with some alcohol.
Hey, we do it for the podcast, right?
But you know what? I think the timing is right because with my work with Rue Morgue, there was a big centerfold piece on Dark Match with Chris Jericho there. So I
Yeah.
think like we're in this. I think like because we're watching all the real life stories and like Dark Side of the Ring and all these things, I feel like it's a natural crossover into horror. So I think like with Mr. Reset and coming back to that, I feel like, dude, like it's in the can. You've been patient, and I think it's going to go
It's
where it needs
time.
to go. Yeah, it's time. I think,
Thank you. Thank you.
and I'm here to support 1,000%, and I'll be wearing my Mr. Reset mask.
Heck yes. Stay tuned for listen, there are other masks that we have, and they're all freaking sick. Like there's
Yeah.
ones you haven't seen yet, and you're gonna go crazy with them. I'm looking at the new mask he's made for future films,
Yeah,
and I am dumbfounded by these masks.
that's so
So
cool.
if I am dumbfounded,
Yeah.
you will too. Even my mask that we made me for the next
Yeah.
one, it's insane. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
I want to do something fun here, okay? So You're Power Punch. You're the energy drink guy. I'm going to
What do
you
we
can hear
got?
that crack. I got some ghost energy here.
That one is freaking delicious.
I'm an energy drink. I was gonna say connoisseur, but horror is probably the better way to put it. And
Yes.
we were joking. I'm like, dude, like I don't share enough on here, but whiskey morgue. I really should be caffeine morgue because I'm consuming at least 1,200 milligrams
It's
of
bad.
caffeine a
I mean,
day.
it's
I need to walk. Yeah, I need to walk around with your belt, your energy drink
pull them
belt.
out, drink them.
If you haven't seen any of Vinny's videos, you gotta like in the corner. Like imagine Jake the Snake had his his snake in the bag. Vinny has the belt with like the energy, like the slots for the energy drinks,
Oh
and
yeah.
like cracks one. And really quick to that note before I go into this little fun bit. I love that your character, like you can do technical stuff, and I was saying I admire like your wrestling in terms of like
Everything.
technical, but your finisher is like an energy drink and power punch, and that is the Hogan leg drop, and that is the Rock's people's elbow,
Yes.
because like it's selling it to the people and bringing it home, and you can do all those other cool moves, but
Totally.
it's not about that. It's about like kind of like garnering
Moments.
the moments and having the audience on your side, and I think that's really cool. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna drink some energy drinks. We're gonna do a power punch rapid fire. So I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
ask you questions, and you're just gonna give me your answers on the fly. Okay?
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm
All
ready.
right. I'm gonna take a sip of this to get me started.
9 p.m. You guys gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I'm cleansing the palate with some whiskey and energy drinks. Yeah, like
There we go.
awesome. I'll be up shortly, sweetheart. All right. Horror villain who would make the best wrestling heel.
Freddy Krueger.
Oh, Freddy Krueger. Okay. Undertaker and Michael Myers winning in a street fight.
Undertaker. Dead Man.
I like that. What energy drink company would you want to endorse you?
That hasn't yet.
Yeah.
Monster.
Scariest thing: steel chair shot or ass full of thumbtacks?
Thumbtacks are usually worse, but chairs could suck.
And if you're wondering why I specifically said ass full of thumbtacks, is because Vinny's been there.
I have been there.
Last one. Who's your zombie apocalypse tag partner in wrestling?
John Cena.
John Cena. I
If I had
like
to choose
that.
one, it would be John Cena or The Rock. They're jacked, and they would be able to very much. Will be on the same page with killing these zombies.
I love it, man. That's good. All right, Vinny, man. Thank you for doing this, and I appreciate you coming on here. Before we finish up, is there anything else you have going on you want to tease? I mean, you've
Oh
talked
yeah.
about so many different projects, but this is your chance to kind of throw anything out there, man.
Heck yeah. Thank you. Filming coming up. A film later this year called Dead Man's Creek by Chris Crudero. Amazing actor, amazing writer and director. Filming in April. Echo and Soul Productions, The Forgotten, Lost Media with Sean T. Phillips, Between the Living and the Dead with C2C Entertainment. Mr. Reset comes out to distribution within 10 weeks, I think. I'm hearing, which is great. Stay tuned. If you're watching this and you enjoyed what you watched, follow me on Instagram at Vinny Pacifico or Twitter at Vinny Pacifico1, and that's where everything goes. And you will see my travels, you will see my fun, you'll see my Disney, you'll see my travels, you'll see I travel out of the country a lot to wrestle, so you'll see that too.
You'll see his trips to Costco, which were also super
Hustle
fun.
guys, exactly. Oh, the best time ever. But you'll see a lot of my travels, a lot of wrestling, a lot of horror, a lot of acting, and a lot of fun skits. And that's kind of what you'll see on my social medias. And stay tuned because it's getting really fun.
Yeah, and I can attest, not just because I'm friends with Vinny and he's on here, but like if you're not following him, get on it. I mean, there's a ton of stuff coming out. I'm excited for it, especially Mr. Reset. Thank you all for watching this. If you want more wrestlers on, I want to have more wrestlers on. I love, like, if you couldn't tell, me just getting to deep dive into wrestling a little bit was a fun time. So thank you to everyone who's on here, who's been listening, who's been following. It's been awesome. Remember to like, subscribe, comment. Let me know who's your favorite wrestler. Who do you want to see Vinny scrap it out with? What kind of film do you want to see
Let us
Vinny
know.
in? I want to know all of that. With that being said, Vinny, cheers, brother. Appreciate you. Thanks
Cheers.
for coming on.